Hi kids, how is everybody? This is Mrs. Lynn and I've got another really fun craft for you guys today. So a couple things about this. We are going to be making a fun little stocking cap ornament. You can use these are really cute and they're really fun. You can hang them on the tree. We can use them as a little decoration for like your gifts that you're gonna wrap, things like that. So it's really pretty easy, but it takes a little patience. So I need you guys to take a deep breath and just calm down and not get too frustrated and just enjoy the process. I will say that this is probably one that kids that are in 3rd to 5th grade can do without a lot of help. They might need a little bit of help, but not too much. If you're in kindergarten through 2nd grade, you probably need an adult or a big sibling or somebody to help you a little bit because some of it's just a little bit tricky, but not too bad. So anyway, you're gonna end up with these and then you might wanna make more after you've completed one and you've got it down. So the kit for this stocking cap ornament looks like this. There's all different color yarns, but it doesn't really matter what color your yarn is, it's just for fun. But this is what it looks like, and inside your kit you've got a little bit of fluff that you can set aside for right now. You've got this circular piece of cardboard. You can just set that aside. And you've got some yarn, so you don't need the bag. Here's your yarn. The yarn has a zip tie on it just to keep it from getting all tangled up and messed up while it was traveling to you. So you can just go ahead and take off the zip tie and you won't need it again for the craft, and just kind of lay them out in front of you so that you've got them ready and they're not tangled up. So let's get started. Each of these little strings is going to go around. The first thing we're going to work on is the brim of the beanie. So think of this like a little noodle, right? You got one long piece of string or yarn, and you just want to make the two little ends come together. They don't have to be perfect, just pretty close, so that you have a loop that you can hold on one end and two open ends on the other. And then you're going to take your piece of cardboard and think of it like a donut, because that's just easier to use as an analogy right now. So you can do it one of two ways. There's no right or wrong, and just again, it takes patience and taking it easy on yourself. So what you're going to do is either take the end with the two cut pieces, or you pull it tight, or the loop end. It's easier for me to work with the loop end because nothing will get stuck on my donut here. So let's take the loop and just put it right through so we can go up in. So all I did was put it right through the middle. So I still have my loop end on one side and my two open parts of the string, the two cut parts of the string on the other. And here's what I'm going to do. And it's not hard, but you just got to pay attention. And once you get going, it'll get a lot easier, I promise. Just these first one or two will be hard. So all I'm going to do is take these two cut ends and go right through the loop. And then I just hold onto my donut cardboard again and I pull. And just make it kind of tight. That's it. So let's do it again, okay? So I've got my yarn. Put the two cut ends together, and again, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. It's okay if one's a little higher than the other, like mine is here. Got a loop end, my two cut ends, my donut, or my piece of cardboard that's round. Stick the loop through, take my other hand, pull the loop, but not all the way out, right? Got my two cut ends, and now I'm going to, put the two cut ends through the loop and pull, and I'm just making like a little knot. Now look what happened. See how I have one on one side and one on the other? What I would like to do actually is move them closer together, because I don't want to see any cardboard when I'm done. The cardboard is just a frame so the hat stays together. So all you do is just kind of don't undo it, just loosen it up a little bit and move it next to the first one, not on top of, just right next to. And then I can pull it tight again, and I that too. So you can have your adult, or you can keep pushing your pieces of yarn together when you make a knot and pulling them down. And you pretty much want the knots to be on the same side. So whatever you do, I mean, it's not the end of the world. You just want the strings to be hanging down off the same side, and you'll see why in just a minute. So you're just gonna keep going around. This is where it just takes some patience. Maybe make yourself some cocoa and put on some holiday tunes, whatever your favorite is, or just some favorite music. So I show you again, just right through. Gonna do it again. The cut ends are gonna come right through my loop. And maybe before I pull it tight, I'm just gonna push it over by these other ones. And then I can pull it tight. And if I feel like they're getting loose at any time, I just pull down on them. So hold the cardboard frame with one hand and pull down. And I'm gonna go all the way around in order. So they're next to each other all the way around until the whole thing is full. And so for time purposes, this would be a good point to pause the video and then come back to it once you've got all the way around. So this is a different color, so I don't want to confuse you, but all I did was the same thing with a different bit of yarn, but this one's got it all the way around. See, it doesn't have to be perfect. So just to make sure, I'm gonna snug all the knots down. So see how all my knots are on the same side of the circle? If there were some up here, they would be hanging down a little bit. So you really want them all on the same side. So that's all I did. This is what you'll end up with. Looks like a sea creature, kind of, especially this one since it's blue. And you'll see that you really can't see. I was doing a good job when I did this one, making sure they were squished together so I don't see any of the cardboard. Okay, so now come back to this part when you're all done and you're at this point too. Okay, so all of these strings, we are going to push up through and make this top part of our beanie. So what you're going to do, it's easier because there's so many little strings, you don't want to leave any out. If you sort of twist them a little bit first, but you don't have to do that. It just might make it easier. If it feels like it makes it harder for you, then don't worry about that part, but it might make it a little easier for me. So I'm going to just take these from the bottom and push them up the bottom and out through the top. So they were just hanging down and I'm just pushing them through my donut hole. Through the inside, right, of the donut. So now I'm just gonna pull. Now look, see, I didn't get them all. I still have a big mess at the bottom. So I'm just gonna push all this up. Keep pushing it up. And they come right up the top and you can just pull them up the top. Right, that's all I'm doing. And look, it's still a little loose down there. Do you see that? It's not really tight. I want it to be tight like this more. So I just keep pushing with my finger. All I'm doing is pushing and pulling and making sure. And this you might want to have an adult help you, especially if you're a little bit younger. Not that you can't do it. I bet you could. I always have faith in you guys because I've seen some amazing art over the years come out of the youngest grades. And I know you guys are very capable. So I'm just pulling, tugging, and making sure that all my knots are sort of up in here and all my yarn. So now look, I've got a nice start to my hat. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I should have, this probably took about 35, give or take, pieces of yarn. So I made 35 knots all around the bottom. Now they're all up here, but I still will have a couple of extra strings or extra pieces of yarn. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this down for 1 second. I wanna make a loop so that it can hang on the Christmas tree. So if I wanna make it as an ornament or even a decoration for a package, maybe have your parent help you with this. But again, I'm gonna take the two cut sides together and I'm just gonna make a knot. And the way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna take the cut ends, I'm gonna put it around my two fingers, right? Just wrap it around my two fingers and then go on the opposite side like this, make a cross, an X, and then push those two pieces. Oops, I lost a piece somewhere. Let's try again. Okay, put them together. Oops. Goodness, here we go. them together, bring them around. I'm at the X part, and then I'm gonna put the 2 cut ends, to look at it, I think, up through there on the inside, and then pull the cut ends. And I'm just gonna take it off my fingers, and now I'm gonna pull. Okay, so now I have a loop. Okay, then I'm going to, oh, one thing I didn't mention earlier, you need scissors. So I'm gonna just kind of trim off these, not the knot, just the extra yarn. So now I have a loop, okay? And I'm gonna take another extra piece of yarn, and I'm just gonna put it right through my loop. And I'm gonna put it down like this, okay? And the reason I'm gonna do that is I need to tie the top of my hat. So I just want the loop to hang on the Christmas tree to be part of my hat. So all I'm gonna do is I'm going to now take this string that has a loop on it. I'm gonna pull all these pieces, those fun hairy pieces at the top of my hat. And I need to put it down for just a second, so sorry if it's too close. And I'm just gonna wrap it around about where I think it should be. And I'm gonna tie a knot. I'm gonna use my knee here, I'm at school today, so. And I'm gonna lay it down. Being careful not to tie my knot in there, or my loop in there. And I'm just gonna, well, how much top of my beanie I want, and I'm just gonna pull really tightly. And I'm just gonna make a square knot. So I'm gonna pull it as tight as I can, these 2 pieces of yarn. And then I'm gonna go left over right again and pull it really tight. And then I might just do one more to make sure it doesn't get loose. Right over left. Real tight. And now look. So here's my loop. That's gonna be the part that hangs on the tree. But all of this was the yarn that was for my knots, okay? So now this is way too much for a pom-pom, right? So I'm gonna make sure I keep my loop out of the way so I don't cut it. And this is, if you're younger, you might need a parent to help you, but above this piece, you're gonna make your pom-poms smaller. So we're gonna trim them just right off. And I might want a little smaller pom-pom, so maybe your parent or sibling can help you out a little bit. I'm gonna watch out for my loop. I'm just gonna shore up my little pom-pom here. Okay, now I feel good about that. But we wanna make sure that this really puffs out. So that's where this little piece of foam comes in, or this little piece of fluff comes in. This is like cushion fluff. So you might wanna start little pieces at a time, and it's all set, you're almost done. All I'm gonna do is take this fluff and I'm gonna push it in all the way up there so that this part of my hat will be fluffed up. And I feel like I need some more. I'll maybe tear off another little piece. And I will push it up in there. And do I feel like it's fluffy enough? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so there you go. Now you've got your ornament. It's a fun, oh, I've got a little fluff out here still. Make sure that it's fluffed all the way in there so it doesn't fall out. But now you've got a fun gift, or just something fun for your tree, or something fun to decorate a gift with when you give it to somebody. So anyway, happy holidays, everybody. I hope you have a fabulous holiday and enjoy the craft. And please show me your pictures when you're all done and you have them up and finished. They're gonna be fabulous. Anyway, have the best day and enjoy your weekend.